Guess who's come for a visit? Let me go and let her in. I've just heard somebody wheeling a bin, so I'm asking a favour on Thursday. My little plans. Right, I think I just got some help for Thursday, weather depending. Nice little handful of, believe it or not, a few strawberries. Well, that's one strawberry less. There we go, that's how small the pot is, but a treat nevertheless. Another autumn job that I am planning on doing is tidying this area. Every time Tricia watches back one of my videos, all she comments on is the state of this shed. Doesn't bother me because I spend most of my time outdoors, but she doesn't like it, and obviously her project got delayed in doing that this year, kitting all this out, insulating it, because of her knee injuries. So I think once she's had her knee replacement and she's up and running again next summer, hopefully she can get down here and do that. If not, I'm not bothered, and I will plug away at it when I've got a spare minute in the autumn and winter and early spring next year. Guess who's come for a visit? Let me go and let her in. Hello.
Hello.
We have to see our new purchase.
Yes. I'm going to come and get that painted.
Told you, didn't I? I told you earlier that she was going to paint that shed.
Paint that shed.
Right. We're going to head down and see what it is we've purchased. Quite strange coming down here. We don't come down here that often. Right in the bottom corner. Right, after a bit of processing the photographs that she put online, we found it. It's only a year old. We're going to get a couple of folks to help us lift that and take that up to our plot. It's just dug in at the bottom. They've still got tomatoes in there. The plan is to take off that cover and put some plastic over it and make it a mini polytunnel. So we've been down to see that, and hopefully we'll pick that up on Thursday, weather permitting, and it's going to go somewhere in here. That's coming out. It's falling down anyway, and it's too short. It's rustic.
No, not that. Oh, it's awful.
Oh, awful.
With the windows, it'll look nice.
As you can see, the canes are falling down in there. Much too short, and whether I repurpose some things in there. I may even start it at this side here and just have it going back. We'll see. Get some planning.
I want you to hold this.
And we'll see. I've got to hold something.
Should have brought a knife to cut it off properly.
It'll be alright with scissors. That's as much as we're taking down for now. What time is it? 1 o'clock we're going to go down, pick up the other poly with the help of some others and place it in this location and try and fasten it down so it's wind sturdy.
Okay, I want to keep these somewhere.
And the cabbage whites are going to have a feast. Right, there we have it, moved by my own fair hands. Took the cover off, pulled the stakes out, which are now behind Tricia here. We've got 3 of those, one of them snapped, so we may have to find a replacement. But as you can see, we didn't want anything bigger, anything smaller. It's perfect fit. And for now, we're just going to leave it like this till we get some time to come down and just dig a trench and make sure it's steadfast. See here, we've taken out the box that was here. The wood was rotten, less for the slugs to eat. We're done. Just until tomorrow. That's just a temporary measure to protect the brassicas until we get down to get this cover on. But we've had a few more changes of plan as we've brought that up. So when the time's right, we will video and let you in. We harvest an apple and 3 tomatoes. So this is a very unique, rare goodbye for today from the both of us at the Right Pair plot. You want to say bye? Bye. Take care, bye. Right, as you know, I like a flying visit. Got a couple of hours to get the 9 bags of wood chip I bagged up at home yesterday down the plot just to line these paths and the edges. You see, I've got 2 more stretches to do and a little bit along here, but looking better already. Just get these jobs done now. Good Wednesday morning. Just got down here. Wow, I'm excited already. Let me show you. I've literally walked through the door. Wow. This is my wongbok. I did grow this earlier in the season, but it bolted pretty quickly. But it just seems to be loving the slightly cooler temperatures we're having. So that excites me. And the other tray are the pak choys. And look at those. You see the darker leaved ones there? That was a mixed colour crunch pack. I'm happy with those. So I've come down to, believe it or not, work on the compost piles again. I've brought me bokashi bins down. They've been sat for a good couple of weeks outdoors now at home. And in those we put any food waste. So they are like a good starter for the compost. I just bury that in the middle of the pile when I'm into layering the paper and the greens. Because I've got the manure, I'm just going to have a quick look at that in the bags and probably put that in the manure rather than put it straight on the beds, because I think it's not well rotted enough for me. I can still see straw, but I may be wrong, so I need to check that out. I've also come down to look after my coriander. This is precious. Been well watered, look. Came down the other day and literally chucked some water down. But that even looks like coriander. We've got the tiny little, can you see, the little coriander shapes. It's very blowy down here, but I've got my mic on, so hopefully you can hear me. Quick update from last week on the emerald kale. Everything is very well watered. Look, they're not huge, but I'm excited to try that emerald kale. Temperatures in here didn't get below 8.5, which is good. My plot neighbour Ray is down working on his plot, so I think I'm just going to take you down, set the mic up on the tripod. Yeah, I did put it back. And just top up that last compost bay. I was just going to cover it and leave that, but as we all know, the compost sinks over time, so I'm just going to top that up to the top while it's still active. And if you can see here on the temperature stick, we are still in the active. It's not hot, but it's active. So that is fantastic. I am sure the temperature will go up when I stick the bokashi bin in there and paper and manure. I'm also going to take up the lettuces that have bolted now from the lettuce bed. I want to sow some more lettuce, but I haven't brought that, so I need to do that, some winter lettuce. So let's crack on and get down on plot 1 and get this compost done, and then I can move on to potting on. Right, not the best looking stuff, look, disgusting. But there's bokashi bran, and these literally stay in our back room. I do drain, as you've seen previously, some of the bokashi bran liquid out of those little taps on the bins. I've shown you this before, but this time I'm just going to stick it in the middle of this compost heap. Just, oh, the smell, just to activate that. Right, let me go and pull some lettuce back with the lettuce. Right, on first glance, there's a lot of straw in this manure and it smells fresh. I think the more it smells, the fresher it is. I think after a while, the smell tends to dissipate. So, is going on here. Guess where I'm going? Always getting in. Just been and collected some more greens. Right, I think one more bag of paper on top of there. I've got another little project I've just thought of to put on top of this once I've put the paper in to stop it blowing away. It means getting the saw out. But let me do that and then I'll come back. Right, let's have a look at this little plan. Our home neighbour was getting rid of this insulation stuff. I think I'm going to try and cut it to shape if it doesn't fit on there already, so let's give it a go. Oh, just a little bit. A little bit of space there for the air maybe. Ah, look, served myself a job. Squeeze it in. Just the trick. Stick it back underneath. Come down in a couple of days and check that out again. It's around 70 degrees Fahrenheit at the minute, so we'll see what that is in a few days. But I'm happy that that job is done. Do you remember the week before last when I was doing the compost bay last time and I ripped all the comfrey up? Well, let me just show you. What was that, 2 weeks ago? Let me show you. Look, I told you can't kill the stuff. And because I've just started that other compost bin down there unplanned to get rid of the second bokashi bin gunk, I am going to go and harvest some more comfrey from up on plot 2. And Linda from the Feel Good Garden, I am going to get round to sending you my sunflower picture, but let me just do a quick one here now. Root ball. I'm going to have to bend it round because the ground, and there's the top. I don't think I can get it all in from here. I know this isn't the one that you want for the challenge. I've got photos at home to send you, but I'm saving this, drying it out, and I'm going to use it as a sunflower support for next year. So the sunflowers are actually going to support a sunflower. Let's leave it out there in the sun. Hope I don't trip over it. Right, back to harvesting some comfrey. Bucket full of comfrey from 2 areas on plot 2, and I'm just going to go and stick that down into the compost on plot 1. See you in a sec. Right, I just also want to thank a couple of other YouTubers. The lovely Ali over at My Rusty Garden for sending me a never-ending supply of seeds. Thank you. Also, Jason over at Allotment of the Dead. He's sent me some new things to try next year. Is it a chocha? I've never tried that before. Some runner beans and that cucumber, which I'm not going to try and pronounce, but I will put on the screen. So the both of you, thank you so much for those. Right, back in the shed, and I finally brought down some spring onion seed. Haven't had any luck with spring onions this year at all compared to last year, which was fantastic. So I think I'm going to try for, I don't know how many seeds I've got. I don't have to go for a smaller tray. I think I will start with a smaller tray and get them in. I think I'll do a couple of these tiny cell trays. Let's see how we go. Fill these little trays with a mixture of my clover compost, a handful of worm castings and some perlite. So there we go, I've got 2 trays filled up. I'll take my glove off, I can't work with little seeds and gloves on. Not even sure what variety. Oh. Onion bunching, ishikura, and some Lisbon. If I can remember right, I'll put around 5 seeds in each little cell. But first I'm going to water that so the seeds don't dissipate once I come to watering in a minute. Right, I will label these up. But those are my 2 trays of spring onions, and let's see how we get on with those. Right, another indoor job. Getting these coriander seedlings into some round pots so they're easy to just grab and take home when needed. You know, when you buy coriander in the stores, I'm not sure how many plants of each they stick in the pots. So if I start with the coriander confetti, they're looking a bigger plant. I hope I don't disturb lots of them. Do you know what, I'm going to stick with 4. I've made 4 dibby holes in here, and we'll see how we go with 4 coriander seedlings in one pot. Right, can you see that? Lovely little root. Lovely little root. Now let's see if we can get it in the hole. I've now done 3 pots, but I want succession of this. I don't want it all to come at once. So I've left a lot to and fro in here. As you can see, we'll keep those in that little cell tray in order to, in about 2 or 3 weeks, just do this again. So we've got a constant supply of that over the coming months. I think I need a day down here cleaning this shed, but that's going to have to wait. More important jobs. But for today, that's me done. And get myself home for some lunch. Thanks for joining me on another wild adventure, and I'll see you next time. Bye.